reviews, discussions, and theories about films in horror, sci-fi, and genre. This is the Horror Deconstruction. Like, share, and subscribe to hear more.
In a dystopian Tokyo, society has continued to live in a subterranean area ravaged by poverty and industrial issues. Each floor of the structure houses individual aspects of the world like food, law, and schooling. Psychic student Lucina has been trying to get her life back to normal after killing her father and being rehabilitated. She's almost caught smoking a cigarette, which is considered a felony, before she boards one of the many elevators on the way to school. That discarded lit cigarette eventually is blamed for an explosion that takes out lives. The fascist controllers of the world board two inmates onto the elevator she's riding, already filled with strange people. A battle ensues where the inmates kill the officers in charge and in turn are killed by Lucina and a professor who has something to hide. As they await for help, the situation becomes unstable as Lucina is able to read the minds of the people and a confrontation with the professor who is losing his reality. In the end, the professor is killed, Lucina is taken to jail and finds herself in the same way the convicts were. She is led to the zero level that no other person can go through, climbing a ladder, opening a lid, where she finds modern-day Tokyo. What's up, everybody? It's the HorrorDeconstruction. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, most likely on YouTube. Give us a like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell icon. We're trying to get 4,000 hours of people watching our so they can make us lots and lots of money. Money! That's all I care about, money, because it's war. Made any money? No, of course not. Who likes us? Nobody. Bastards. All of you. I mean, I love you. Anyway, with your host, Komp and
Haba.
And today's film is... Ooh, she's going to be mad.
I was supposed to come up with something.
She's going to be
Hellevator,
so mad. If she had,
the Bottled Fool.
If she actually ever listened to this show... If she listened to this show, she'd be so mad. Hellevator, 2004. Gosho no Baindumi. Directed by Hiroki Yamaguchi, written by Hiroki Yamaguchi. I love that Japanese wording. One elevator, one girl who can read minds, and one floor where the elevator should have never stopped. The ideal ingredients for a classic piece of weird horror. In the claustrophobic space of the elevator, a bunch of screwed up psychos who board halfway through produce. Absolute. Oh, Jesus. I meant produce because of the
produce.
No, I read that as, like food, because the food falls out that lady's bag. Okay, here we go again. Let me read that. A bunch of screwed up psychos who board halfway through produce absolute madness and mayhem on every square inch. I really had produce on the mind because that lady had stuff fall out of her bag like lettuce and tomatoes. Anyway,
mayhem on every square inch. That's what the one I'm reading says.
Whoa, did this girl actually use her real name in the movie? That's funny. Oh, well, sort of her real name. Anyway, so it's starring Lucino Fujisaki, which is, I think, isn't that the name of the girl in the movie?
Yeah, it's played by Lucino Fujisaki.
Yeah, she's playing herself in the movie. Wow, good for her. This must be her life story. Yoshichi Kawada, Ryosuke Koshiba. So, Danny, why did I pick Hellevator, the Bottled Fools?
I'm not sure.
Oh boy, I feel like we're gonna have a big divide on this episode because when I saw the poster for this film, I don't know how long ago. It must have been in Kim's Video, which was an amazing New York store.
The poster with the annoying rapist guy in it.
Yeah, it was in New York. Remember, we gotta say rapist because YouTube will bury our channel.
Sorry, but I miss Kim's Video.
Yes, Kim's Video. If anybody knows,
I just got sad. I used to go there all the time.
I don't know how old. I don't know when Kim's Video started. It might have started in the 70s, but Kim's Video was a fantastic.
I went there my whole fucking life until they closed. That was sad.
And Kim was a real guy. I thought Kim was like a woman's name, but it was actually Kim was like a Korean guy. So, so it makes sense. I was like, yeah, Kim.
I never met Kim. I just, anytime
I never met him either. But it opened up just a small in 1987. In 2008, it had 55,000 rental sites. But this was like every type of movie you can get. And it from 1986 to 2004, I believe in St. Mark's in Manhattan. Yeah, it closed in 2004. And then they had another one somewhere else, like across a couple streets down. I think that closed in 2008. So they were a fantastic store that sold like.
Now you've made me more depressed.
They got in trouble because they were in trouble for selling bootlegs, and I was like, I thought everything was a bootleg in that place. But anyway, it was a fantastic store, and I think I had seen that there because they had a huge Japanese section, like a lot of movies over there. And I remember seeing the poster for Hellevator on it, And the guy's face on the cover, that rapist guy. Oh, I screwed up. Anyway, the rapist guy, like I looked at it and it's like stuck in my mind forever. From that day that I saw that,
He's very annoying. He's very annoying.
It is, because I haven't seen the movie until now, like literally now, since I've seen that.
Yeah, he does bad things, but also, God, it's just his voice and everything. I wanted to punch him through the screen.
From the late 90s, because I was like, I just looked at the poster and I was like, this movie looks kind of cheap or whatever, and it is, but it's cheap in a good way. But I had no idea what the movie was about. I thought it was an elevator that went to hell or something. You know, even the description of the movie sounds like it's just...
Doesn't need to go to hell, because hell is their reality.
And I thought it would be something like, what was that movie, Devil, that was produced by M. Night Shyamalan?
Yeah. Is that how you say his name, Shyamalan? I've never known.
I think so.
Shyamalan? I'll
tell you this, when I saw I've only seen 2 trailers where people laughed at the trailer. And one was for Midnight Meat Train, when they say the name Midnight Meat Train. And people laughed at it because it sounded like a film. And Devil, which was that movie about the people stuck on the elevator with the devil. And at the end of the movie, because this was, I guess, right after, like, he had made a couple of crappy movies. And it goes, produced by M. Night Shyamalan. Everybody in the theater started laughing. I was like, woof. I was like, man, people must really, like, hate M. Night Shyamalan. Anyway... And I also thought it was like this novel that I listened to the audio, but you can find the audiobook on YouTube called The Mall by S.L. Gray, which is about these 2 people that get stuck at a commercial mall, and they take
like fucking not Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead.
They get stuck at the mall, I guess so, but they get stuck at the mall, but I guess they take an industrial elevator, but like they take it to the wrong place, so they end up like in some sort of weird hell where like. They're like meat creatures walking around and people trying to catch them.
Sounds like the mall. Yeah.
It sounds like, yeah. It's like basically, what was that game series? Silent Hill. But I thought it was.
Anyway, let's talk about this terrible movie.
Or terrible. Movie. I loved this movie.
Decent but annoying. Movie. That could have been fixed with budget.
I absolutely loved this movie. I had the same feeling of watching something I haven't seen in a long time, like when I saw Evil Dead Trap 2. Like this is cyberpunk horror.
Evil Dead Trap 2 is really good though.
I like this movie as well, but I wouldn't say it's as good as that movie, as Evil Dead Trap 2. But this movie here. Here's the thing. I just came off from watching.
This felt like the world of 12 Monkeys. No.
So this film is a cyberpunk dystopian horror psychological terror movie, and I really, really enjoyed it. And essentially what the film is about is some sort of dystopian future, I guess, quote unquote, because we find out after the end that might not be the case.
Maybe the upstairs land is like poison. We don't know.
Yeah, it's a little bit like Cube, where people share one room for a while, though that's not the case. At the beginning of it, these people live. It seems like they live in like.
It reminded me of that Dredd movie where they live in those mega.
Yeah, right.
Like Judge Dredd, where they live in giant city buildings and everything. You know.
So these people live in these big. It looks like a giant shipping container. Where it just seems like hell. Like it just looks like the poorest of the poor people, they work in this big shipping container sort of thing. I guess underneath. I always thought it was underneath the earth.
And the only way to escape is to be a criminal. So it really inspires you. Like, okay, kill people then and get out.
Yeah, I kind of figured it was always under the earth from the beginning of the film. For some reason, it just kind of felt that way. I didn't feel like anything was outside.
I actually didn't see that coming.
Just for the fact that there's an elevator, you got to be inside something, right? So
I thought they were in a building, like going upwards. I didn't realize
even with all those people begging for food at the beginning, you think they're inside of a building, inside of that large wasteland?
Well, they were in some kind of apocalypse where there's no trees or something. Who knows? I don't know.
The way the film begins is this young girl. She's 17, although she looks like a grown adult. Her name is Lucino, and she is trying to. I guess she's gonna go to school or something. I don't know what floor her school is on. But she is avoiding one girl who's giving food to, I guess, workers or homeless people. And we're hearing it's very cross-cutting editing where we're getting different versions of the story at one time. Well, not different versions, but different points of the story at different times. And She is smoking a cigarette, which is against the law in this society because there's a very...
I mean, I'm happy if they made cigarettes against the law, though. I hate them.
There's a this is like a Gestapo type of... they love that look, the Japanese, because, you know, they were bros with the Germans back then. And the Hugo Boss look of the Nazi bad guys. Although,
I'm sorry if you could hear my neighbor having
I don't know if they're necessarily... these are like evil guys, the society or whatever they're called. But they're very strict that you can't even have a cigarette because you'll get into trouble. If you kill a person,
they value your health that much that you will be killed if you smoke cigarettes.
If you
or exited into an apocalyptic world.
If you kill someone even in self-defense, you're in trouble. So it's like one of those things where that you really have to, you know, toe the line. And so Lucchino ends up on this elevator. We find out later that there was an explosion that happened because of a loose cigarette. That's what they're saying. I thought it was maybe the bomber that did it. You know, the bomber that they put on the elevator. And it's
but why do they just have like flammable liquids everywhere? Like maybe they wouldn't have to. They're make constant. Any
those were like construction working guys. Like what happened is I think that when the police guy is trying to arrest her and he shoots I guess like a valve that releases gasoline that blows up that whole area. And I think it kills about 100 and some odd people.
Yeah, but why were they going to shoot? See,
That's
is what
how
doesn't
serious
make sense
they are.
about it.
Yeah, you're right.
They have criminals who are mass murderers, and they just bring them upstairs, erase their minds, and then release them into the world. But they're going to shoot this girl for smoking a cigarette.
That's why you have to give yourself into the wackiness of the world. I mean, there's psychics. She's also has psychic.
Yeah, but you got to follow the logic of the world's logic, and it still doesn't make sense.
So she's she's psychic, or she's not telekinetic, but she has powers where she can read minds and speak to people that are you know, I guess they can. Like if you have that power, you can talk to somebody. I'm not sure because her doctor had it, and then also the guy in the elevator had it. We'll get into him in a second, but she is you know her doctor is telling her she's seeing a doctor because I believe her father sensual assaulted her when she was younger, and she killed him with a pair of scissors. She killed him,
yeah. Is that what it was? Okay.
Well, because
I wasn't sure if it was him or the criminal guy.
Taking that idea because the part when she has a flashback with her father, and he's saying, "You're looking like your mother every day," you know, and he's like touching her. So I assume he sensual assaulted her or something like that. So
okay,
she went because she killed her father. She had to go obviously, yeah, I guess she was young and she didn't get in trouble for that, right? She just went to go see a doctor. She killed somebody already.
I mean, we've all been 14 and killed our parents.
There you go. Know? So, you know, she got... Well, in Japan, they do that, man. They're like, you can do whatever you fucking want. And they're like... Remember I told you about those kids, those creep bastard kids that held a girl for about, like, a couple of weeks. And, like, they did every torture imaginable to this poor girl. And then they dumped her body into a canister and filled it with cement or some shit like that and threw it out. And they got like maybe 5 years of jail. And the Japanese never released their names. And they're like, okay, you've been rehabilitated. And they got away with, you know, killing this girl. Then also, you know, in Japan, there's another part where, you know, this kid chopped off his friend's head and put the head in front of the school with a note inside the mouth, and he got jail. And then
were they doing like a Simpsons, but like more?
So he got out of jail. He wrote a book about it. He made money about it. So Japan is weird. They really believe in. You know how they cry about here in the United States. Well, you're not. I don't know what they do in Spain. But in the United States, they talk about, you know,
we have like 25% of the world's prison population.
Yeah, we should reform. You know, we should have more reform for people over here. It's not like
well, you know, there's an extent. Maybe you don't reform a guy who chops off people's heads and puts them on the school. But he was
only 15, so
doesn't matter.
Cut his head off too. But anyway, so
it's not a normal behavior for a 15-year-old to cut off people's.
A thing in this film is that there's rehabilitation. You don't know if there's rehabilitation because if you smoke a cigarette and you're 17 years old, they're gonna shoot you because you're running and stuff like that. Anyway, so that causes an explosion. She gets in an elevator because this elevator goes through different factions of the society, like produce, law, shit like that. And she's on there with this woman who's...
There's a whole floor for produce, huh?
Yeah, I guess so, because it says that. It was a store and bakery one. The one with the old lady and the little kid with
I bet it smells so good too. You go on, it smells like cookies.
In this world, it probably smells like fucking seaweed or something like that.
It's like the only good floor.
I did like that. The old lady who had a horrible wig on, and the little girl that she's with who had like a pet, whatever that was. Like it was like a fishbowl with a human brain in it with organs and robotic eyes.
Very cute.
It was. I mean,
cool. Those people and the music it was making was nice. Those people are very lucky to get off the elevator.
Absolutely.
The Hellevator. I'm sorry.
Although it said a couple of things exploded, so maybe who knows who died. I'm not sure. There's an elevator woman.
There's hope for that old lady.
Which is an actual job that in Japan they have women that just take care of the elevators for you. They wear that same suit and everything. Cool. There's this guy with for some reason a character that reminded me of Jet Set Radio. He's this guy who has like headphones on and he sits on the side. He's
he was so annoying.
He was. He has cyber headphones on. And
I just wanted him to get kicked in the head the whole time.
And you don't even know what his deal is because he says he's a secret agent for the government. You don't know because he might have been hiding that from the guy at the end too. You have no idea.
Wouldn't the guy at the end know? The guy at the end was.
He might be like a super secret agent. I'm not sure. He did sound like a piece of shit, so I don't know. Because like I wouldn't know if he knew.
He sold the girl out. He said he was gonna help her.
Yeah, but he did say he didn't say that she did it all. You know, I'm not sure. You're really not sure what's going on.
He said he was gonna protect her and not.
Also,
he could have killed the guy if he's a secret agent. He didn't do it. He made her do it.
Also, her psychic powers are dubious because the lady with the baby carriage, a really annoying lady with the baby carriage.
Oh God, she was so.
There's a true aspect to that with I don't know if you noticed when the dead baby inside the coin lockers. A lot of people did that when they didn't want to take care of their babies in Japan. They would put the baby inside of a coin. You know what a coin locker is? You put a quarter in it, or a dollar or whatever, and it holds your stuff for like a day or something. They would put the babies inside the coin lockers, and people that are cleaning out coin lockers fucking open it up and find a child in it. Either dead or alive.
Imagine that's your job, and you open it up and you see that.
You can actually find it on YouTube. It's called they don't have footage of people pulling babies out of it, but like a day in the life of a coin locker operator and stuff like that. There was a novel called Coin Locker Babies that they were trying to make a movie. It's a Japanese novel.
It sounds like Muppet Babies. Coin Locker Babies.
But in that one, it's about two coin locker babies that grow up and try to destroy the world. But it was good. It's a good novel. It's by Ru Murakami. But then that lady had a baby at the end with her husband. Uh-huh. So was she right? You know what I mean? It was weird because she did have a baby with her. So was this psychic vision that she had of this lady putting her baby in a coin locker real or not? You know what I mean? There's a professor that might or might not be an evil mastermind who's trying to release.
I don't think he is. I think he was just a guy.
Yeah, like a thing.
They said the pills were for his heart.
And he's annoying too because.
He's very annoying. Every character in this movie is annoying.
I dug it. There's one of the Nazi-esque society guys. Where he has blonde hair and he looks like he must have been like a singer that they gave him a job.
Oh, he really annoyed me too. The only person who didn't annoy me was the interrogator. He was the only one that didn't annoy me.
You didn't like the main girl? You thought she was annoying?
Yeah, I thought she was annoying.
So they're all in this elevator.
I'm sorry, I just did. They all annoyed me. I can't help it.
The Nazi guy brings in these two psychopaths. One is a bomber. One was a sensual assault who killed women and
he talks in reverse,
that was cool. Because obviously I'm watching with English subtitles. If you can actually find the movie on YouTube if you look up Hellevator, and then also it's on watchasianhorror.blogspot.com, which is an old school sort of blog spot. People still have those sites, which is great. And I didn't know what the whole movie was. I thought it was just going to be these two guys terrorizing, but they kind of fix that pretty quick. Die. Yeah, they get rid of that problem pretty quick. But which I was appreciative of because there was a lot of stuff they could do. There was a great when she actually shot that first guy, the bombing guy, who talks backwards. I like that effect of that guy's voice. He had Japanese subtitles for him, so I guess it wasn't just.
I liked how he didn't fall and rose back up.
Yeah, they did like a Matrix effect. Although, when did the Matrix come out? Because the Matrix came out. Oh, yeah, this is
1997.
No, 99, I think. So yeah, this was using a Matrix effect way after that happened.
The movie still holds up.
Yeah, I love the effect in this movie. I love the whole aesthetic and look of the movie. I know I'm used to annoying.
I like the aesthetic. I don't like any of the actors. I don't like any of the characters. I hate the pacing.
Do you think they're just bad actors, or do you just think they're annoying?
I think that the budget is so bad, and they didn't know how to utilize it.
I figured you would embrace this type of film because it's so out there weird, but I guess I'm the only one.
No, I like the weirdness, but it was just badly pulled off, and everyone in the movie annoys the shit out of me. Like, I want to kill all of them.
The thing is, if you've watched lots of Japanese material like I have growing up,
I have.
But I mean, like, I'm sure I've seen more than you have, and they're like,
you've definitely seen more than me.
There's like stock. These are all stock Japanese annoying characters. Where this is the future, and all these characters are supposed to be scumbags, and
like that guy sitting with the headphones. I don't know how they could make somebody who doesn't even talk annoying, but they did. Like, I wanted to kick him the whole time. I was so annoyed.
These are all supposed to be like people that are just looking out for their own, and they're all scum. The only person that wasn't annoying was the elevator lady. Like, she seemed like a nice lady.
She actually tried to do the right thing.
I'll say her but even when she's trying to approach to kill the bald guy, she gets annoying because you're like, just kill the guy. But her and the schoolgirl, I didn't have any problem with the schoolgirl. I actually liked the schoolgirl, and I felt she got a raw deal in the end. But
the doctor was okay too.
Yeah. Like, these are only three nice people. I mean, the little girl,
the person with the milk in the carriage. Yeah. Oh my god,
the housewife.
She was annoying as hell.
Yeah, because she started coming. At the beginning she was like a normal person, like scared, and then there was a part where she's praying with prayer beads. And then when that professor gave her money, you could see how corrupt she was, and she was a piece of crap, and like she wouldn't give milk for money. And I guess that secret agent guy supposedly wouldn't give that guy water unless he paid him more. And I'm like,
if he was a secret agent, he would have done something at that point.
Yeah. You're right.
Imagine you're a secret agent, and there's like a million things like this happening. You would do something.
Yeah, it's funny because like this movie, when I was looking this up, there was another thing called Hellevator, which is a show with the Suska sisters,
and it's also a video game.
Yeah, so the Suska sisters are the girls who directed that fantastic. Remember that great movie, American Mary? That was the greatest movie of all time. Which is not.
It was okay, but XX was.
I thought it was a terrible movie. But that show is like a cheap sci-fi channel game show where you're supposed to navigate a horror like scenario and find guts, and then you win prizes. I mean, shit.
American Mary, looking back, I don't think it was the worst.
I thought it was terrible. And then also, if you want to go see like a drag horror show, go watch Dragula on Shudder. But anyway, go back to this. I enjoyed the whole feel of the thing. Even like when it ends with like drum and bass music at the end, I was like, yes. I was like, this is what I want, because I just got off of two of the most mainstream horror movies that I've just seen, which was Texas. They don't call it the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Danny. Watch out, the new one. It's called Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It means it's different. I saw that, and then I saw.
And what, they're all like 90 or something now in this movie? Like, it's supposed to be like 50 years later.
Yeah, or something? I'd have done two. I've done. I'm sure I'll have the episode before this one. That's on.
Is it terrible?
No, but it's like it copies Halloween, that terrible remake.
So is Leatherface like an old man now?
Yes, but he's able to run and do everything. The big fat.
And what about Grandpa? Is he still old?
No. Here's the thing. I'll do a whole episode about that, but because I'm not gonna let you watch that because it's just a waste of time for you.
You're gonna save me? Okay.
Oh yeah. No, I do that sometimes. I sometimes care about my co-hosts where I won't be like, you don't have to watch this.
I'll watch something terrible or something good. I hate watching mediocre.
This is not. Yeah, it is mediocre. This is not spoiler kind of explanation of what Texas Chainsaw. So remember Texas Chainsaw was about a family, and it was a psychological terror movie, and it was just Leatherface used as like a pit bull. Somebody succinctly said, which is correct.
He wasn't even a main character.
So in here, so in this one, Leatherface, I guess it's 50 years later. Okay, I didn't realize it was that long.
He's like 97.
Yeah, and he's living in a decrepit home for children. And I'm like, but he was living with a family in the first movie, so why is he living?
They're all dead probably, I guess.
Yeah, but they make it like he was a child that grew up in that place. And I'm like, and so it becomes like a Jason slasher movie. And I'm like, it doesn't make any sense because he's obviously like, let's say he's 15 or 20 in the original one from the 70s.
Well, it would be funny. if they did like a whole Rocky montage of him finding the rusty chainsaw and polishing it back to good use and everything.
Well,
he goes to the hardware store, he buys a new chain for it.
He does. There's a scene of him breaking into a room and bringing out the chainsaw. So that's his old pal.
Oh, boy.
It's a stupid movie. The more I talk about it, it's worse and worse. But it's not as bad as the Halloween movies. Anyway, so that's
but this movie.
I dug it. I liked it a lot. I didn't have any problems with it other than budget-wise, the camera stuff. But this is a Japanese era of shot on video.
It was so pixelated. Like,
well, I mean,
that's not the fault.
I don't think that's the fault of the film itself, but it did take away.
Just the only version we could find was like horrible quality.
It did take away from the movie itself, just the experience of watching it. But I kind of like that aesthetic, like the fact that I can make out what was on screen for the most part. Like if this movie took place in the dark, there's no fucking way we could tell what the hell was going on.
If this was a short film, I would have liked it a lot better.
I really like this. Seems like a type of film that a director, you know how like what's his name, the guy who did Lord of the Rings, what's his face,
Peter Jackson
got to make Bad Taste and Meet the Feebles, you know, like he made those type of movies before he had to like grow up and make movies like The Hobbit and stuff like that.
Yeah, but he made fucking Dead a lot. Well, Brain Dead, and that's like
but I'm saying those are his early movies. You know what I mean? This seems like a movie that you're not allowed to make anymore. You have to make like Texas Chainsaw and Scream 5 and stuff like that. Like after you make a great movie, then you have to like kind of work on the Hollywood system and just give people what they want instead. So I'm interested in seeing what other movies this guy has done. Although I haven't done that for the guy who did Evil Dead Trap 2 and stuff like that.
Did the guy who did Evil Dead Trap 2 do Evil Dead Trap 1?
No, I think it was a different director. I think it was supposed to be a different movie, and they just put Evil Dead Trap on it. That's why it's such a completely different.
Yeah, it was a completely different.
But at least
the second one was awesome. The third one I don't even remember.
Nah, the third one wasn't good. Danny and I definitely say you should watch Evil Dead Trap 2. At least watch that movie. That's great.
I wouldn't even bother with the first one.
I love the first one too.
I don't remember caring for
the third one. The third one stunk, but I loved the first one. You didn't like it. We both.
The second one was like a surreal, fun, awesome movie. I love it.
Yeah, the second one was very much what's his name from Twin Peaks. I want to forget his name. David Lynch type of film, Japanese weird movie. But then, like saying that is an understatement. So this guy has gone on to do movies like Bloody Chainsaw Girl Returns, Revenge of Nero. So I'm sure he's still doing weird movies and stuff like that. I don't know what else to say besides there's
if
fantastic.
This movie was a half an hour.
Too long
40
for you?
minutes, and they took all of the budget and compressed it into that, it would have been a much better movie. Also, better actors, maybe, or a better script or something, because, oh my god, that guy yelling...
Sensual assault.
This guy, sorry, I keep saying the word, yelling and stuff, like, oh god, I just wanted to bash his teeth in.
I think that's what the director wanted, though. I think he wanted you to go crazy.
Yeah, but it was, like, it was too irritating, and every character was irritating. Everyone.
You gotta forgive Dan. He's living in the middle of war, maybe. So
no, I'm on the west. I'm all the way west.
But
I'm nowhere near it. But
I dug this.
Horrible.
If you ever watch like Japanese like anime and stuff like that, these are all stock asshole characters, and it. I don't like watching things that just have all asshole characters in it. Like this has a lot of asshole characters and a dubious main character, because I don't think she's a piece of shit. She's easy to kill people, which is fine for me.
Yeah, she's not a piece of shit. I feel bad for her, actually, but like...
Yeah, so, and then at the end, so I assume they let her out, and she gets out into modern-day Japan.
She never gets to smoke that cigarette, either.
No, she goes to modern...
They keep yanking it out of her mouth.
She goes out to modern-day Japan, because in Japan they have this that thing at the end, which is lit up red, is Tokyo Tower, which is... looks like a version of...
Yeah, but do you think it's... Well, it is lit up, which implies society.
Yeah, and there's buildings with lights in them. I think that's just the budget. I think that was supposed to be like the director going, she's living downstairs. There's people that live underneath us. Danny requested for me to edit this part out, but he wants you to watch We Are the Flesh, a movie that is from Spain that he spoiled the ending of, so he wanted me to cut everything out, but he does want to say that We Are the Flesh is better than this film. That's what he says. So with this one, they go into society into the future, like, or not in the future, and it seems like they just went into current 1994 or 2004. This feels like a 1990s movie, though.
Did Pokemon exist back then?
Yeah. I am actually flummoxed that it's in 2004. I thought this was like 1999 or 2000.
It feels like the 90s, the film.
So I must have saw the poster for this right when I went right before Kim's video went down the toilet. Also, if anybody listens to this episode, listens to weird movies, I walked in front of Kim's video and I saw a movie that's been haunting me ever since because I never went in to ask them what the movie was about. And I'm telling you, it's going to sound like I must have eaten mushrooms that day or something. But I'm looking at the TV screen through Kim's video's window, and I tried to contact Kim's video about this. It was a video of, like, short people, like human beings, right, in a dystopian, like, movie. But they had, like, animal heads, like dog heads, and, like, animal heads and shit, right? Like you know how Ninja Turtles was in the first movie? And they're running away from aliens, and the aliens are like scary aliens that are killing them. And I'm watching this going, what the hell was? And I just sort of walked away. And that movie has stuck with me ever since. And I don't know what it could probably be completely something else different, but it sucks that I don't know what that movie is. So if you ever seen a movie about
imagine that was the
dog-headed
kind
people,
of weird porn or something
about aliens killing them and shit. It reminded me of Zaram for some reason. Anyway, I like the movie. I love the aesthetics. I love the Matrix effect. I loved the way that the character designs, the costume designs, and everything. I like that it took. I was gonna get scared that it wasn't an elevator. That was the first thing that was bothering me. I was like, oh, they're gonna be stuck in one room the whole time, which is like obviously 80% of the film. But the whole feel of it, the look, the music, soundtrack, and it's like it doesn't have that much soundtrack to it, honestly. But I dug it all.
There's a little jazzy underscore.
I really like. It could have been because I
like the jazziness actually.
It could be because I saw that terrible Texas Chainsaw Massacre and the mediocre Scream 5, but this was like something different, like completely different than a lot of things that I've been watching recently, and I really enjoyed it like a lot. So I mean, I really liked it. So it's gonna get a high score from me. What about you? What's your full like analysis of this?
I found it way too annoying to like. Unfortunately, I like the concept. I liked the ideas, but it was executed very annoyingly for me. So I have to give it a 6 out of 10. A 6 out of 10 being beaten viciously by a man who speaks in reverse over and over and over, and somehow you're still alive long enough to complain about how it's not fair before dying.
I've give it a 7.5 out of 10. I was gonna give it an 8, but just I didn't want to make you going crazy over there. 7.5 out of 10. Wearing your Gestapo uniform to violently berate and beat your criminals, and then you end up being the beaten criminal yourself.
Jerry!
And with that, Danny, what's the final word?
Jerry!